Quiet luxury. It's a term you may have heard. It's been going around the internet. It essentially means what people my age used to call class. At its best, this is an aesthetic that takes joy in the finer things in life, but inconspicuously. You don't scream your success, you whisper it, and you stride confidently in the knowledge that someone will hear it in the finer details. Fine knits and solid dependable accessories. It is the inconspicuous nature of quiet luxury that makes it worthy of contemplation here, in the realm of fountain pens, or if you prefer, fine writing instruments. To push the point of quiet luxury further, it eschews any sort of obvious or obnoxious branding like you see in Louis Vuitton these days. It's much more subtle, implied. So instead of parading around with Gucci logos all over your shirt, it's more like having a very nice knit in a very nice fabric that will last you the rest of your life if properly taken care of. Now this aesthetic is mostly relevant to fashion, with style icons like the cast of Succession or the eternally elegant and perfectly dressed Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. The expression is toned down, but always with an attention to detail. So in the watch world, it would be more a Lamy and Cartier over Rolex, for instance. This aesthetic is very much against flagrant displays of wealth. It celebrates well-made, tasteful pieces, and far fewer of them. You buy the best once, and then you hold on to it. So what is the equivalent of quiet luxury in the fountain pen world? Let's find out together. So for me, these would be solid, dependable, wonderful fountain pens that may be costly but have value. They don't scream their branding. They're not associated with obvious expressions of wealth, but rather good taste, discernment, design, tradition. These pens show off the good taste of their owners. So let's begin with one of my personal favorites, the Cartier Diabolo. The Cartier Diabolo is a very exclusive pen because it's not always available. In fact, the best way to find this pen is probably in the secondhand market. My example is made from lovely Chinese lacquer, in amazing depth and color. It's trimmed in gold. It has a brass base, so it has some heft. But this pen is more commonly available in a very sleek, luxurious, inky black that's absolutely gorgeous and very, very subtle. These pens are beautifully decorated and feature a nib that appears supplied by their Richemont cousin, Montblanc. Just so close to a Montblanc nib. Now the one thing curious about this nib is that it does appear to be slightly undersized in relation to the rest of the pen, but this gives it a certain understated elegance. It's not a large, obnoxious nib. It's a pretty small, elegant, refined nib for excellent writing. One of the things I love about Cartier is that they lack the overt branding of, say, the Glacier Star or Mont Blanc, and instead it has those subtler touches of Cartier, like the cabochon on the top of the cap, and the interlocking C's on the nib and on the clip that represent Cartier, but unless you're very close to this pen, you won't see them. I could see this pen on a grand desk, signing contracts, mortgages, leases for the corporate jet. It has an almost royal bearing, but without any of the outward signs that scream luxury. This fountain pen whispers. It also writes magnificently, but I would avoid posting it. If you post it, it will scratch this magnificent lacquer. Now, I would say it's probably closer to the quiet luxury aesthetic to just not worry about scratches and wear. But however, this pen is such a beautiful little work of art that I think you lose part of your soul with each scratch. And it's really beautiful when you use it. It's beguiling to hold it in your hand and see how the light plays and how the color changes from darker moods to brighter light, and the different characters of the red and the burgundy that come out in this pen. It is truly gorgeous. I absolutely recommend it if you have the means.
It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
And if you can find one on the secondary market. Follow me now to the absolutely gorgeous and luxurious Pilot capless or vanishing point LS, made even more exclusive by its LS designation. LS stands for Luxury Silent, so it fits perfectly into this aesthetic. The silent is for taking the click away from the vanishing point, making this pen stealthier. There is nothing more annoying than the incessant clicking of a pen in the boardroom. This one opens with a gentle twist and closes the same way. Smooth, luxurious. Made more so by the polished, faceted ring bifurcating the two halves of this pen in its deep lacquered metal, with a deep burgundy color holding the light in dazzling arrays. This pen has a wonderfully gold nib with the softness and give that you would expect from any vanishing point. It has a very narrow nib that seems to hide that it is a fountain pen, pushing it even further under the radar. This pen is very secretive, and not just in the silence and smoothness of that opening mechanism, it's just so precise and so pleasurable. This pen just seems to hide everything. It hides the fact that it's a fountain pen, it hides that it's luxurious, in this beautiful, stealthy, understated package that reflects your good taste, and the fact that you like a pen that is practical, that is beautiful, that writes amazing, but is also a cut above and would never need replacing. Pilot pens are just wonderful. They're some of the finest and most luxurious pens in the world. One of the amazing things about Pilot is their extraordinary QC at every level of manufacturing, not the least of which on this quiet luxury selection, the Vanishing Point LS. Amazing. My next choice is a bit of a rare bird, the Pelikan M800. Well, it's a pelican. It has that beautiful pelican logo rather than the Mont Blanc Glacier star. This pen shows very good taste and refinement, especially in their vintage iterations. In regards to branding, Pelikan pulls a bit of a magic trick. It takes the full-on face of a pelican, puts it on the clip without making it look whimsical. It is an elongated Art Nouveau elegance. And those sweeping Art Nouveau lines are really a shorthand for the whole style of the rest of this pen. This pen could have been designed to celebrate the Belle Epoque. It just has that incredible organic flow to it, those lovely sweeping lines. The Art Nouveau influence is seen again on the gorgeous two-tone gold nib, with another stylized pelican and the symmetrical curlicues that Art Nouveau is known for. Like a decorative Parisian doorway, stunning and gorgeously rendered. The classic stripe design goes back decades, rooted in classical design. Is it a fluted column or an allusion to stained glass? Perhaps the latter, if it were still translucent, as it once was, to give an indication of the ink level. Sadly, this example is not one of those. Still, it is a lovely writer and an absolutely lush flow of ink with beautiful gold trim. It's just an absolute joy to steer this pen across the page in a luxurious, slippery flow of incredible radiant ink. I love this pen. But its iconography and branding exist largely under the radar, except to those in the know, like all of us. And that's what makes it such a perfect choice for quiet luxury. It takes a certain connoisseurship to appreciate a pen as fine as the Pelikan M800, and that is what makes it such a perfect choice for quiet luxury. We in the fountain pen world sometimes forget that a pen that costs even $30 is a luxury to many people who buy disposable ballpoints for next to nothing or pick one up at their local bank. So by the time you get over $100 for a pen of any sort, that truly is a luxury. So in this case, this choice is for those that love design, that approach the finer things through the lens of Architectural Digest and the New York Times style section. I offer the Lamy 2000. This design icon from the mind of Gerd Muller. This pen is a study in distilled form down to optimal function. A tapered body crafted in marvelous tactile macrolon, perfectly matched with brush steel components. The tolerances in the piston fill knob are amazing. It simply disappears into the barrel. Twisting is an act of faith that it will reveal itself, but it always does. The brush steel of the grip tapers to an interesting nib with some softness and expressed in white gold. Writing with this pen is a lush experience. I would personally criticize the twin metal tab catches that protrude from the sides, spoiling the lines for me, but overall it is a wonderful design at home in the most creative of fields, a studio executive, an architect, product design, technology. I do rather love this simply yet beautiful cut clip. An inspiring design from a wonderful house, Lamy, that makes incredibly reliable fountain pens. This fountain pen fits comfortably and easily into the quiet luxury category, especially through the lens of design. My final choice for a fountain pen that whispers quiet luxury was actually the inspiration for this list. Waterman is the epitome of quiet luxury through its incredible designs and lovely materials, yet it's affordable. You're not showing off, you're just showing your good taste and the fact that you prefer a pen that writes wonderfully and has a beautiful design. In this case, it's the Waterman Kuran, although I was tempted to put the Waterman Edson on this list, but that's a bit too much of a rare pen. But I personally think the Waterman Edson could possibly be the finest fountain pen that Waterman ever made. Maybe it would have to fight it out with the Waterman 52. But regardless, the Waterman Kuran is a design masterpiece, a lovely, flowy, beautiful pen. This one that I'm showing you today is the Reflection of Paris edition, and it has an absolutely gorgeous cap. All of Waterman's pens impress instantly with their design and materials. The Waterman Kuran is the perfect choice for an elegantly crafted fountain pen of streamlined designs inspired by Art Deco speedboats. This pen radiates elegance and class from its rounded inlaid gold nib integrated into the grip, and the lovely amber color or the beautiful black of the Reflections of Paris. They both are wonderful pens that feel so balanced in the hand. The snap cap of this pen makes it easy to access for quick notes or for sketching the pathway of your Nantucket cottage. It also has very subtle cap catches that you really don't notice in contrast to the Lamy 2000. Waterman is based out of Paris, which is lovely as well. This fountain pen looks much more expensive than the 217 or so US dollars that you can purchase it for. And it proclaims its own effectiveness and luxuriousness through its own design. The pen is gorgeous, well balanced, a complete joy to write with. I just love Waterman. I just feel like this pen just punches so far high above its price and its own weight. It just competes with other pens at 3 times its price. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful design. I think it's a perfect quiet luxury fountain pen. It's not looking to show off. It just simply is, and it is beautiful. So, what do you think of my choices for quiet luxury fountain pens? Let me know in the comments which ones you would suggest. There are whole areas I would have liked to have explored that I haven't got to yet, like ST DuPont, for instance, that I feel could have easily been on this list. So let me know. And if you've watched this far and you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'd love to have you along for this ride. We go to some amazing places and I'd love to have you with us. And if you want to support the channel even more, membership is available. We have a pen pal group for Illuminati and Cognoscenti members. So consider helping to keep the lights on. I would appreciate it. So I make new videos all the time and I have a live show each week as well. So I can promise you we will see each other again very, very soon, further up the road. So stay inspired.